Hi everyone, very good afternoon. I hope you all are doing very well. So today in this session, we are going to discuss some PYQ based questions. So this is 2024 CUET Economics paper held by NTA, right? So CUET UG Economics PYQ of 2024, we are going to see what topics they are asking, right? So this paper is from 2024. We will look at the topics and the answers. So kind of questions they are asking, the MCQs, you will get an idea so as to how to prepare for CUET UG Economics 2025, right? So if you see, time allowed is 60 minutes, maximum marks are 200, total there will be 50 questions, right? Number of questions to be answered would be 40. So 40 questions you need to answer, 40 questions. हर क्वेश्चन में आपके पास 4 ऑप्शन है, you have 4 options. Out of this you have to select the correct option, right? And of course there will be a negative marking, so 5 marks for each correct answer, because you see 40 questions you have to attempt, 200 marks हैं, तो 5 marks for each question, and 1 mark will be deducted for each incorrect answer, right? So 5 marks for each correct answer and 1 mark would be deducted for each incorrect answer. This is the examination pattern. Now let's see the topics they have asked recently quickly. So first topic, what depicts what has actually happened. So they have asked the difference between ex ante and ex post. Ex post is basically what reflects what has actually happened. Ex ante means what is expected to happen, right? So these kind of basic definitions they have asked, the differences into the definitions. Then next is they have asked investment multiplier. So this is formula based, basic formula based questions. They are asking if investment multiplier is 5 and increased income is rupees 800, then find the value of change in investment. Now if you know the basic formulas, like investment multiplier would be delta y by delta I, right? So if you do the calculation here, just a second. So, you know, if you know the formula delta y by delta I, right? So, the value is say 5. 5 is equals to delta y by delta I. Delta I की value 800 दी हुई है, तो 5 is equals to 800 divided by delta I. That would mean delta I will be equal to 800 divided by 5, which is 160 crores. 160 crores. So this is purely basic formula based questions. So investment multiplier is an important area. Multiplier पूछा ही पूछा है लगभग हर एग्जाम में, right? You can go through this question, which of the following is correct. So like quantitative tools control the extent of money supply by changing the CRR, that is true. There are 2 types of open market operations, outright and upright. No, this is not correct, right? Outright and upright नहीं होता है. Fall in bank rate can decrease the money supply. Fall in bank rate decreases the money supply? No, it increases the money supply. Selling of a bond by RBI leads to reduction in quantity of reserves. Yes. RBI can influence money supply by changing rate at which it gives loan to the commercial banks. Yes. So A, D and E are correct if you see. Now, it shows that they are asking questions from your monetary policy segment, quantitative tools of the central bank, right? These are also important areas. Then they have asked you about paradox of thrift. What is paradox of thrift? So, which is when all people of the economy increase the proportion of income they save, total value of saving actually in the economy will not increase, it will either decline or remain unchanged. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा ही सब proportion save करने लग जाएंगे, overall saving बढ़ेगी नहीं, rather it would be declining. Paradox of thrift is another important concept they have asked. Then they also ask you these kind of questions where they ask you to match the columns like list A with list B. So like bank rate would be minimum rate at which funds are provided for long term. MSF, what is MSF they are asked. So monetary policy, particularly you see monetary policy and the quantitative tools are again repetitive questions, right? MSF, also known as penal interest rate, repo rate, repo rate mein you know that the securities are pledged as collateral. Reverse repo rate, the central bank borrows at this rate from the commercial bank. So these kind of definitions they can ask you in match the following format. So here the correct option is second, which is 2, 3, 1, 4, right? So again, monetary policy comes out to be an important segment out of this question. Then they also ask you functions of central bank. They can ask you which of the following is a function of central bank or is not a function of central bank. So which of the following is not a function? Like it accepts deposits and it gives loans to the people? No, it is not a function of central bank. It is a function of a commercial bank, right? So functions of central bank, functions, responsibilities, roles of central bank can also be an important area which they can ask you because they have been asking these questions. Then they ask you about the budget, like Article 112 deals with union budget or annual financial statement. Also, they are asking you about the structure of budget or difference between capital and revenue account, right? So capital receipts and revenue receipts, for example, the difference between them. So they have asked all those elements which create liability and decrease the asset of the government. These are capital receipts. So here if you know the difference, the basic difference between revenue account of the budget, both receipts and expenditure, and capital account of the budget, both receipts and expenditure, then only you will be able to answer it. Now, this kind of question, the arranging the sequence, so sequence based questions are also being asked, like arrange the following in correct chronological sequence. So here if you see, gold standard would come first. It was in use up to 1914. Then your Bretton Woods conference happened, which established the World Bank and IMF, 1944. Then happened your establishment of then Smithsonian agreement, which pegged all the currencies values to dollar, US dollar. Then is your establishment of WTO 95 में हुआ था. So this is the correct sequence. Now in your syllabus all these have been mentioned. तो आपको सारे events की sequence भी पता होनी चाहिए. They are asking you these kind of questions, right? The correct sequence. If you know one or two, you can eliminate at least. Then they are also asking questions from foreign exchange chapter. So they have asked under flexible exchange rate, when the price of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency increases, it is called appreciation of domestic currency. So these kind of questions are also asked from foreign exchange. Then next question is again match of the following from foreign exchange. So foreign exchange, 2 times questions we have seen. Monetary policy. In foreign exchange, you see pegged exchange rate system where exchange rates are fixed. Managed floating क्या होती है? Also known as dirty floating, where the state intervenes to manage the foreign exchange value or value of your domestic currency. Then there is Bretton Woods conference. Bretton Woods conference क्या है? It has set up IMF and World Bank. Then what is third element of BOP? It is error and omission account. So foreign exchange से 2 questions extensively they have asked. Foreign exchange is important. Then next one is casualization of workforce. So what is workforce? What is formal, informal economy? These kind of topics will also be important. Casualization of workforce, if you see, would result in increase in vulnerability of workforce. So here you have to know what is the difference between formal and informal economy. What are the benefits which formal workforce enjoys, which is not available to the informal workforce. Then next again you see ascending descending order. Again chronological order of establishment of these famous organizations and plans. So here the answer would be DCAB. RBI was nationalized in 1949. Then you have third 5-year plan 61-66. Then 1982 establishment of NABARD and 2003-4 FRBM Act. So sequence based questions are being asked again and again, right? This is I think second time they have asked in the same paper. Next they are asking you what is carrying capacity, which implies that resource extraction is not above the rate of regeneration of resources. So sustainable development wale topic se bhi kahin na kahin you are getting the questions. Also they have asked, like Government of India enacted Right to Education Act 2009 to make free education a fundamental right for all the children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. So these kind of questions are also being asked. You must read all these topics. Then next they have asked sources of electricity generation. that which of the following sources is having maximum weightage in electricity or energy generation in India. So you know that abhi bhi we are dependent heavily on thermal, then hydro, then new and renewable energy, and least would be nuclear. So the correct answer would be BDCA, fourth option. So sources of energy generation is again important topic. They are asking these questions. Again the chronological sequence. तो आप देखो एक ही पेपर में 3 बार आपको ये क्वेश्चन मिला है, right? Same paper 3 times the question of arranging in correct chronological order. So this is something you cannot avoid, right? Competition Act, FEMA, FERA, MRTP. So here the answer would be DCBA. MRTP 69 में आया था. Then C your FERA, then FERA was replaced by FEMA 99. Competition Act आया था 2002 में. So here the correct sequence would be DCBA. These questions are again asked. Then they are also asking questions from Mao Zedong's Great Leap Forward, right? 2-3 questions you would find in the same paper. Great Leap Forward. Great Leap Forward was a campaign initiated in 1958. आपको पता है 1958 से start किया था Mao Zedong ने, which focused on heavy industrialization of the agrarian economy, right? So again you see in match of the following they have asked again the Great Leap Forward. So this is match of the following kind of question. Great Leap Forward, which aimed at industrializing the country. Mao Zedong is also associated with introduction of Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution, Brundtland Commission and Our Common Future. तो आप देखो 2-3 क्वेश्चंस यहाँ पर जो हैं सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट से सीधे सीधे निकल के आ रहे हैं. कैरिंग कैपेसिटी हो गया, देन एनर्जी जनरेशन सोर्सेज हो गया, ब्रंटलैंड कमीशन, आर कॉमन फ्यूचर रिपोर्ट. ब्रंटलैंड कमीशन क्या था, इसकी एक रिपोर्ट फेमस हुई थी आर कॉमन फ्यूचर, जिसने फर्स्ट टाइम में डिफाइंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट इज. सो दिस आर कॉमन फ्यूचर रिपोर्ट गिव द official definition of sustainable development. So here the correct match would be second, third, first and fourth. Option 2. Then they have asked about second phase of green revolution. So green revolution, white revolution, all these important or major revolutions, again very important topic for you. So the phase of green revolution, you know, was mid 1970s to 1980s. The next question they have asked is during 1980s growth rate in Pakistan improved on account of which of the following reasons. So 12th class का जो आपका syllabus है same syllabus है, right? And when you have the syllabus in your hand, आपको पता है comparative economic development उसमें एक topic है where we have compared Pakistan's performance, China's performance, right? तो यहाँ पर that topic is important. They are asking कि पाकिस्तान का improvement जो हुआ था 80s में on which ground? So it was on grounds of sustainable export of manufactured goods, right? So comparative development would also be another important topic. Then next one is when there is unexpected rise in sale, there will be unplanned deaccumulation of inventories. So sale, inventory, stock, flow, ये सारे concepts भी पूछे हैं. आगे अभी आपको stock और flow के बीच में difference they will also be asking. So these kind of questions they are asking. Then during festive season, the currency deposit ratio would increase. Currency deposit ratio जो है increase होगा. So they have asked about currency deposit ratio. ये क्यों increase होगा? Because people during the festive season they want more cash in hand, right? So these kind of questions, concept based questions, they have also asked. Then they have asked about the establishment of European Monetary Union. It was created in 1999. Again, comparative economic development. Then next, they have asked about the circular flow of income. Evergreen question, circular flow of income. So circular flow of income they have asked, like firms produce goods and services. So what is circular flow of income? In two-sector economy, they have given you a condition that it is a two-sector economy. Now you know that two-sector economy mein you only have producers and the households. You don't have government, you don't have the external sector. So these are basics on which you should be very strong. Then it would be very easy for you to get even full marks in this paper. It is very easy if you are sound on your fundamentals. Then next, like they have asked the difference between ex ante, ex post again. So ex ante kya hota hai? Which is future. Is expected to happen. Ex post is what has happened, right? So A and C would be correct. Ex ante saving represents what is actually planned to save, and ex post saving depicts what has actually happened. Next question would be match the following. Again, a question coming from your BOP plus budget. बजट और बीओपी दोनों को मिक्स करके लाइक एएफएस क्या होता है, इट इज द बजटरी डॉक्यूमेंट ओनली, कैपिटल रिसीट, कैपिटल पेमेंट, एक्सपोर्ट अगर इंपोर्ट से ज्यादा है, which situation would it be? So here if you match it, the answer would be 3, 1, 4, 2, right? Then they are also asking you passage based questions. 5 questions है, एक पैसेज है, ये तो आपको छोड़ना ही नहीं है ऐसे क्वेश्चंस, राइट? सीधा सीधा आंसर आपके पैसेज में दिया हुआ है डायरेक्टली, बहुत ज्यादा घुमा फिरा के भी नहीं दिया. यू जस्ट रीड द क्वेश्चंस once, read the passage once and you will be able to find out the answer. तो सीधा सीधा क्वेश्चन है, एक पैसेज है, जैसे यहाँ पर एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्शन की बात की है, पेस्टिसाइड्स की बात की है, ऑर्गेनिक मैटर कंपोस्ट की बात की है, एंड यहाँ पे सीधे सीधे आपके पैसेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछे हैं. हाउ इज द सिविक अथॉरिटी गेटिंग बेनिफिटेड ड्यू टू बायो कंपोस्टिंग? यहाँ पर यू वुड फाइंड दिस लाइन डायरेक्टली दैट somewhere you would find this thing. Yeah, so civic authorities are benefited too as they have to dispose reduced quantity of waste. सीधा क्वेश्चन है. तो पैसेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस हैं, 2 पैसेज आपको मिलेंगे पेपर में. यहाँ पर एक पैसेज से 5 क्वेश्चंस आपके बन रहे हैं. सो इट इज योर कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव इन द सेंस इनपुट कम है, आउटपुट ज्यादा. एक पैराग्राफ पढ़ा, 5 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व, राइट? दीज काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस यू कैन नॉट अवॉइड. सारे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर सीधे सीधे पैराग्राफ में दिए हुए होंगे. Again you see next paragraph and the next paragraph based question. So again this is a paragraph given regarding India's status, economic status before Britishers came and after Britishers came, and directly 5 questions have been asked from this. So सीधे सीधे passage based questions हैं. According to the passage, you need to answer these questions. Then next, these are independent questions. Again, types of economies they can ask. What is a market economy? Where economic agents can freely exchange their endowments. Then they've also asked about utility, indifference curves, right? So, indifference curve, marginal utility, evergreen topics. Marginal utility is change in total utility, correct? Two indifference curve intersect each other? No, they never intersect. Marginal utility becomes zero when total utility is maximum, correct? Diminishing marginal rate of substitution has no effect. It is actually the reason why it is downward sloping. So it has definitive impact, right? Then indifference curve slopes downwards from left to right. That is true. So ACE would be the correct answer. That means utility and indifference curve and budget constraint are important topics for you. Again, match of the following, जहाँ पर उन्होंने आपसे inferior goods पूछा है and प्राइस सीलिंग क्या होती है, इक्विलिब्रियम क्या होता है. सो मैच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस दे हैव आस्क्ड. देन इलास्टिसिटी पे भी क्वेश्चंस पूछे हैं. इलास्टिसिटी क्या होती है? सो दे हैव आस्क्ड यू इफ इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड इज 1 एट एवरी पॉइंट, दैट मींस कि सेम चेंज, व्हाटएवर चेंज इन प्राइस इज देयर, सेम चेंज वुड बी देयर ऑन द क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड इज 1 यूनिटरी इलास्टिक. दैट मीन्स कि आप कर्व के अंदर कोई सा भी पॉइंट ले लो. व्हाट इज रेक्टेंगुलर हाइपरबोला? रेक्टेंगुलर हाइपरबोला होता है दैट अंडर दिस कर्व यू सी इफ आई टेक एनी 2 पॉइंट्स देयर एरिया विल बी सेम, देयर एरिया विल बी सेम. तो ये जो एरिया होंगे सबके सेम होंगे क्योंकि इन सबकी इलास्टिसिटी 1 है. दैट इज रेक्टेंगुलर हाइपरबोला. सो इलास्टिसिटी से क्वेश्चन है. देन नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज फ्रॉम कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर थ्योरी. सो बजट कॉन्स्ट्रेंट से क्वेश्चन है यहाँ पर. According to the theory of consumer behavior, inequality P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is less than or equal to M is called as. So इसका मतलब क्या है? Price quantity of one good, price quantity of second good is less than or equal to the income of the consumer or budget. That means you have a budget constraint. Your total expenditure has to be less than or equal to your income, right? ये क्या है? Budget constraint है. Budget constraint. So these kind of questions are also asked. Then choose the correct statement. So who is the father of economics? जेम कीन्स का publication कौन सा था? फोर सेक्टर मॉडल क्या होता है, फंक्शन ऑफ मनी क्या है, लाइक स्टोर ऑफ वैल्यू इज अ प्राइमरी फंक्शन और सेकेंडरी फंक्शन. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस हैव आल्सो बीन आस्क्ड. फंक्शंस ऑफ मनी इज अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक. देन नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन दे हैव आस्क्ड यू, जनरल थ्योरी ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट and money by Keynes is there, Mahalanobis again. So this is ascending and descending order कि पहले कौन सा इवेंट हुआ था, अरेंज इट ईदर इन असेंडिंग और डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर. 4-5 क्वेश्चंस आपको ऐसे ही मिल गए हैं. दैट शोज कि जब भी आप कंटेंट पढ़ेंगे तो यू नीड टू रिमेंबर द क्रोनोलॉजी ऑफ मेजर इवेंट्स, राइट. 3 to 4 क्वेश्चंस यू हैव. देन इफ देयर इज नो गवर्नमेंट एंड नो फॉरेन ट्रेड, तो क्या होगा, गवर्नमेंट नहीं है, ट्रेड नहीं है, ट्रेड नहीं है तो इंपोर्ट नहीं होगा, इंपोर्ट भी नहीं है, एक्सपोर्ट भी नहीं है, ट्रेड नहीं है, सो इट वुड बी 0. थर्ड, so that is coming from your trade. Then they have asked you GDP deflator. GDP deflator again important topic. अगर nominal GDP is $1,100, real GDP is $1,000, what would be the value? You know, it is nominal GDP upon real GDP into 100. So 1,100 divided by 1,000, you would get 1.1. Then they have asked you stock and flow का concept. So you must know that any variable measured at a point of time is a stock concept. During a period of time is a flow concept, right? So stock and flow के concepts भी इन्होंने पूछे हैं. Then if the supply of final good is assumed to be infinitely elastic at a constant price over a short period of time, aggregate output is determined solely by value of aggregate demand. This is called effective demand. इफेक्टिव डिमांड का कॉन्सेप्ट भी इंपॉर्टेंट है एंड दे हैव आस्क्ड इफेक्टिव डिमांड इन द क्वेश्चन. दे आर आल्सो आस्किंग नॉमिनल इंटरेस्ट रेट क्या है. नॉमिनल इंटरेस्ट रेट इज रियल प्लस इन्फ्लेशन रेट. रियल इंटरेस्ट रेट जो भी है और जितना भी इन्फ्लेशन की वजह से एडजस्टमेंट किया है इंटरेस्ट में, add it into it, right? Then finally they are also asking about marginal propensity to save. So marginal propensity to consume as well as marginal propensity to save, very important topics. So here like they have asked, value of MPS is increased from 0.4 to 0.5. What would be the impact on multiplier? तो multiplier पे क्या impact होगा? Investment multiplier पे common sensical है. You don't even required to, you're not even required to do the calculation. You see, MPS is what? Marginal propensity to save. And you know this identity that MPC plus MPS will always be equal to 1. It cannot be more than 1, right? तो अगर MPS ज्यादा है तो MPC कम हो जाएगा. मार्जिनल प्रोपेंसिटी टू कंज्यूम कम होगा तो एक्सपेंडिचर कम होगा, एक्सपेंडिचर कम होगा तो इन्वेस्टमेंट कम होगा. दैट मीन्स अगर सेविंग ज्यादा हो रही है तो इन्वेस्टमेंट मल्टीप्लायर, इंक्रीज इन इन्वेस्टमेंट वुड बी ऑफ कोर्स लेस, राइट. सो दिस इज हाउ इट वुड बी देयर, बिकॉज इफ यू गो बाय द फॉर्मूला इन्वेस्टमेंट मल्टीप्लायर वुड बी 1/MPS. तो अभी आप देखो वैल्यू पुट करोगे, जितना इंक्रीज होगा उतना ये डिक्रीज होगा. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आर देयर. 50 क्वेश्चंस है जिसमें से आपको 40 करने हैं. मल्टीप्लायर इज इंपॉर्टेंट, असेंडिंग डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर इज इंपॉर्टेंट, क्रोनोलॉजी 3-4 बार पूछी है, पैराग्राफ बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस है. तो ऐसे क्वेश्चंस है कुछ जो आपके लिए सेवियर के का काम करेंगे, राइट. सो दिस वाज द एनालिसिस ऑफ 2024. आई विल ब्रिंग इन फर्दर एनालिसिस एंड वी विल बी कवरिंग दीज टॉपिक्स, ऑल द इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स फॉर यू with basic fundamentals so that you get the clarity and it would be easier for you to qualify the exam with flying colors. Thank you so much for staying tuned. I'll see you in the next sessions. Have a good day.